everybody, it's me, Jill. Welcome to Jill Informed. Today, I'm going to try something a little bit different. The new season, season 9 of Real Housewives of New York just started. And I thought I would do a quick little recap and give my impressions on the episode after it happens. Let me start with the taglines. So this season, Dorinda says, I tell it like it is, but I always make it nice. Kind of funny if you know Dorinda and how she makes, I make it nice. Okay, then there's Ramona. I'm an acquired taste. You don't like me? Acquire some taste. Kind of funny. Kind of stupid. Sonia's I kind of love. There's nothing gray about my gardens. Carol, in the politics of friendship, I win the popular vote. It's a little boring. Luann, oh my God, Luann. The only title I'd trade countess for is wife. Okay. All right, we get it. And then there's a new housewife called Tinsley, and she wasn't really on this first episode, but her tagline is, a good set of lashes can fix anything, even a mugshot. There's a story there, I'm sure. And finally, Bethenny, if you're going to take a shot at this bee, you better not miss. All right. It's all right. Kind of funny. The show opens at Ramona's apartment, and God bless Ramona. I love her so very, very much. She answers the door. Her doorbell rings. She's expecting a contractor to come because she's remodeling her apartment. And she calls out, Miriam, I'm expecting a contractor in 20 minutes. Miriam is like her assistant. Then the doorbell rings immediately, and she goes and answers it. Why, I don't know. But she's wearing nothing but a short little lacy, pink, silky, like teddy. And she has a white facial mask on. Ramona. Oh, God, I love her so much. So she answers the door, and it's this man, he's the contractor, but he is a Latino gentleman. And the first thing she says to him is, and I quote, "Hi, I'm Ramona with my white face." Oh. Thank you, God, for Ramona. I love her so much. You cannot script that. Yeah. So, I'll try and go in order here. The second scene we cut to is Carol's apartment. She lives with Adam and a bunch of animals, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty boring. Next scene is Luann in Central Park in a tennis skirt for some reason. I don't know. She's meeting Dorinda to go for a walk. Why she's dressed like that, only Luann can tell. The next scene we cut to is Sonia's apartment. Sonia is putting sex toys in her dishwasher, but first she's brushing them with a toothbrush. I don't know. I don't understand it, and I don't want to really even talk about that anymore. So let's move on. The next scene is Bethenny's office, and then $1 Million Listing guy comes in. They talk about selling her apartment that she had with Jason Hoppy, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of boring. We cut back to Dorinda and Luann in the park, and they're rehashing last year's antics, and they're talking about Lou's wedding. What else? Sonia's in like some weird play. I don't quite understand that either. Okay, back to Ramona, who is killing it this episode. I mean, killing it. She is everything. So she finds out that the contractor's name is Mario, and she asks him if he knows that her ex-husband's name is Mario. Did you know that? He's like, no. I mean, honey, why would he know that? I don't know. This poor man, your heart will go out to him. Mine did. I mean, he's just there to try to, remodel her apartment and get some money. And she is bizarre. I love it. I don't know that he loved it. Okay, so anyway, she's saying, Mario, and she calls him to come in. And she goes like, oh, do you know how weird that is? It's just so weird calling you that. Oh my God, we get it. I mean, it's not like it's the most unusual name. Other people can actually have that name. And she's just so, oh my God, she's just so Ramona. So anyway, so they go to the kitchen. They're like in the dining room in the kitchen. And she says, now, I want to remove this wall. And he says, well, you're going to lose wall space. And she giggles and says, he just saved me some money. What? I mean, sweetie, did you want the wall removed? Because the contractor just basically told you that, yeah, I mean, if you remove the wall, you're going to lose wall space. Did you not know that? And of course, not removing the wall is going to save you money. Oh, I don't know. It's just... okay. So then she goes into the kitchen and she opens a cabinet and she's looking at the door and she says, can we just like replace these doors? And he says, actually, it's easier to replace the whole entire kitchen. What? It's easier to replace the whole entire kitchen than to remove the doors off the cabinet? Okay. But that's not the funny part. The best part of it is that Ramona says, that's good. You're saving me money again. You're 2 for 2. No, he's not. Sweetie, you just suggested that he change the doors on your cabinets. He said, let's remove the whole kitchen, and you think that's going to save you money? It's not. It's not. All right. So they go into the bathroom, and the camera pans over to her bathtub, which has a bunch of odd things in it, like boxes of makeup and other items in the bathtub, but there's no mention of it, of course. We just pan over there, and I guess that's supposed to be normal. I don't know. Also, you can see her little pink teddy that she was wearing hanging on the doorknob, which I just thought was kind of a funny little observation. Okay, so then we see her sink, and it's just a single bowl. And she says to Mario, it's just one bowl. I might want another sink in case I get a lover or a boyfriend or a husband. And she's giving him this very weird, look like it could be him. I don't know. I just think that I feel like poor Mario just wants to get out of there as fast as possible. And I'm feeling for him, and it's awkward, and it's so very Ramona, which is fantastic as the viewer, but in the moment, it's just the most bizarre conversation you would ever have with a contractor that you just met. In case I have a lover. And that's the other thing. I'm sorry, you take on a lover and he needs his own sink in your bathroom? He can't share your sink. That's weird, but Ramona. Oh, the other thing is that when he's leaving, there is this deliciously inappropriate exchange between Ramona and this contractor that, again, let's remind ourselves, she just met. She like is thanking him, and they're standing at the door and he's about to leave, and she kind of like punches him in the shoulder, and then she's like, come on, give me a hug. Then she touches foreheads with him and says something again about, it's like so weird calling you Mario. And then he goes out the door. I'm not making this up. You have to see the episode. So funny. The next scene is we cut back to Bethenny's old apartment. Boring, boring, boring. She makes it sound like Jason trashed the place and turned it into a crack den. There's no evidence of that. There's a scene of her like seeing it for the first time after she got back in, after I guess he left, and she's like crying. I'm not seeing what she's seeing. I don't know if he scratched the furniture or, if the carpet was dirty, but like she's literally crying as if she's finding like dirty needles on the floor. I don't know. That was weird. And so that whole storyline is boring me. The $1 Million Listing guy has staged her apartment and they decide how many millions to sell it for, blah, blah. Who cares? The next scene is Dorinda coming over to Carol's apartment. They're kind of rehashing last season a little bit too. Carol tells Dorinda that Adam moved into her apartment, but they're just shacking up. They're not living together. Who cares? We cut to a scene of Bethenny going to Sonia's apartment to pick up clothes that she's donating for a charity that Bethenny is involved in. And basically Bethenny spends the entire time talking to the camera, making fun of Sonia's clothes. So it's kind of rude. There's a scene with Luann at Tom's apartment. She just seems uncomfortable there. I can't explain it. She has a weird, awkward exchange with her own dog. Oh, by the way, this season, they're having title cards for the dogs, which I love. Like, they'll show her a little, whatever he is. It looks like a little Westie or something. They'll show the little dog, and then underneath it'll say, like, Aston, 10. There's a scene like at Bethenny's apartment. Cookie, 16. Which, can you believe Cookie is 16 years old? Yikes. Yikes. That's an old dog. But good for Cookie. So they show Luann go into the apartment from the terrace. She was out on the terrace with her dog. And then she goes in to make a phone call to her wedding planner because, of course we have to be reminded that Luann's getting married. Totally forgot. She didn't mention it in every single scene last season. So she's on the phone with this planner, and there's a close-up of her holding the phone, and we see her thumb, and she's got red nail polish on, and then all along the cuticle is black. Like, I don't know. I mean, I've had some nail issues, but I don't know if that's like a fungus growing. I don't know what's happening with it. There's no mention except that the camera does zoom in on it. So I don't know if we are supposed to notice it. It's kind of hard not to, but there's been no talk. So I don't know what's happening there. That was a little bit weird. The other zoom in that scene is in the kitchen on the counter. There's a cookie jar that says Tommy's Cookies. Ew. Next, there's a quick little scene with Bethenny. She sold her house in one day for full price and cash. Who cares? Boring. That part is just so completely unrelatable to the average person. Good for you, Bethenny. You've got more millions in the bank. So that's a real feel-good moment for us here at home. Okay, the next scene is Dorinda coming over for lunch to Ramona's house. And like I said, Ramona, you are killing it this episode. They're sitting down, they're having salads, and they're talking about what else? Luann and Tom's wedding, and Tom cheating and all that stuff, and the proof that Ramona has from different people. And Dorinda doesn't want to hear it because she wants to make it nice for everybody. So she's playing kind of devil's advocate. Well, this is just so weird. Ramona has to get up from the table. Oh, I should mention that this planned lunch date, Dorinda comes over to Ramona's apartment, and the assistant answers the door. And where was she before when she needed to answer the door for poor Mario? Anyway, so Dorinda comes in, and she's there before Ramona, and the assistant tells her that Ramona is on a lunch date, like having a date, before her actual lunch date with Dorinda. Anyway, so Ramona walks in the door, and oh my gosh, I just have to say, she looks awesome. She looks gorgeous. She's got these like metallic, like sort of gold metallic sunnies, and she's got a fur vest, and she's got like some over the knee boots, and anyway, she just looks really good. So they sit down, they're eating their salads, and like I said, the conversation gets around to Luann and Tom's wedding and his cheating and all that. Well, Ramona gets so, like, it has to be so animated. I don't know what she's doing, but it's so funny because she gets up from the table and she's kind of like pacing, and she's getting real loud and, talking about it. And she's like, get a brain, Luann. And she's screaming all this stuff. The entire time, Dorinda is just eating her salad, just still sitting there eating her salad, as if the person you're having lunch with didn't just get up and start having this crazy rant. Of course, she knows Ramona, so I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. But then there's a scene where Carol goes to Bethenny's apartment, and she wants to kind of talk about the election, and Bethenny just shuts her down. I mean, Bethenny, I love her, but she is so rude. I mean, she can really be so, so rude. So that was just weird. And nothing else really kind of happens there. So the episode ends with a scene of Ramona and Luann having lunch at some restaurant, and Ramona again just being rude and talking about how, she's got this evidence of Tom cheating, and I just don't want you to get hurt. That's her. She's a giver. That Ramona, she's a giver. And Luann keeps telling her, I'm a grown woman and you don't have to worry about me. So, whatever. There is just this one funny scene is that Ramona like holds up her wine glass like she wants to toast her marriage. And Luann holds hers up, but Luann doesn't want to toast until like Ramona starts actually talking nice and acting like she sincerely wants to. So the two of these women are holding their wine glasses up for a crazy, awkward, long amount of time before they finally agree on something that they can clink their glasses to. So anyway, that's it. That's how the whole episode ended. Those are my observations. And we'll see. I hope to do this the whole season. We'll see if it's as long as I'm having fun, and I hope you guys like it. So thanks for watching. Bye.